up, people? It's your boy Jig from Green and Eagle Eye coming to again with a brand new preview. This time, Arsenal take on Crystal Palace. And wow, even though we haven't played a game midweek, it's certainly been it's felt like an eventful week. It's felt like very much an Arsenal week, just because things are happening or not happening, as every Arsenal fan deep down knows about us and the way we do transfer business. Whether there's always drama when it comes to Arsenal. We're like a fucking soap opera. Whether it's our dismal performances on the pitch, like we performed against Bournemouth, to our best player kicking up, behaving like a child and wanting to leave the club, to us allegedly buying two players, one of which we're trying to get Man United to give us. It's ridiculous in a way. Only Arsenal could go through this. And, you can tell my attitude on it. I'm almost tired as a fan talking about the same old shit. But just to quickly just go over the week before going into the preview. And it's important to take in what has happened this week, because that will very much determine what sort of mindset the players are in and the team are in and the manager in going into the game. So, I mean, going from the dismal performance of Bournemouth, it was tepid, it was passive. To be honest, both teams were shit. It's just that we were shitter because our defence is useless. And we have a manager who thought it would be a good idea to take off our best defender, put on Ramsey, and not that Ramsey coming on was a bad move, but to take off Chambers, who was the only one out of his three centre-backs that was doing some shit, take him off, put Ramsey on, and it was just, we fell apart from that point onwards. Yeah, to me, it was just a disappointing performance, but it wasn't a surprising one. It wasn't even one that made me angry. It was kind of like, sure. And that was my attitude. And my attitude towards it has been worrying, because we just have been so open. The team just feels like they don't care anymore. And I understand that was the attitude of the fans who were there. It was kind of like, it wasn't even anger anymore. It was just acceptance of, okay, we are just this shit. Then you came from that, and then a few hours later, because Arsenal knew as a club that fans were unhappy, so they figured let's break this story of us going after Aubameyang, who is a player who plays for Dortmund, bangs in goals for fun, has a bit of a behavioural issue, apparently. He's had a couple of disciplinaries from the club, one of which caused him to miss their last weekend's match. And when he missed that match, the link to us just became almost instant. And I think the PR team fueled that. Supposedly we're interested in him. Supposedly we're ready to bid on one set of papers say we're ready to bid 53 million for him. Another set say, well, you guys wanted Giroud anyway, and I know you're going to be reluctant to let go of Aubameyang unless you have another striker. Why don't you just take Giroud? And I know some Arsenal fans are a bit like, well, Giroud's big and this, that, and the other, and I'd like to keep Giroud if possible. To be honest, I wouldn't blame Giroud if he wanted to go. Man's got a World Cup to fight for, so could completely understand if he wanted to go. Quite frankly, who the hell wants to stay at Arsenal these days? So I could understand if he wants to go. So we're kind of in a bit of a limbo at the moment, because we're trying to pull off these very elaborate swaps. And that's just one I've spoken about. Obviously, the high-profile one is the Alexis and Mkhitaryan one. Gosh, I still can't believe we're doing that. I mean, Stel must have thought he won the lottery when he heard that story. But this is an actual thing. We're actually trying to get United to give us 10 million plus Mkhitaryan for Alexis Sanchez. And United are ready to pay him like $500,000 per week, allegedly, per week. So it is what it is. Good luck to him. I know a lot of Arsenal fans are pissed off about the money factor and the fact that, Alexis is going for the money. Motherfuckers, if United were going to pay you $500,000 to do what you love to do anyway, you'd go as well. I know I fucking would, and I hate United. But let's just be real here. So, to be honest, the money factor doesn't even really bother me too much. It's more his professionalism and the fact that his form has dipped so badly prior to all this. That is what has disappointed me from Alexis's point of view. So yeah, we kind of are where we are now. To me, I suppose just briefly, just to round it all up, to me these are just noise, it's just stories. Until I see one of these fuckers in an Arsenal shirt, that's the way I'm going to treat it. Because I know what Arsenal are like. We are terrible when it comes to actually doing transfer business. Yes, we've let go of Coquelin. Yes, we let go of Theo. Both of those were a surprise, really, because I put both of those people on my chopping blocks. Which, yes, before you ask, a chopping block is coming. It's all about timing, people. I'm just trying to get the timing right. So hopefully you'll see what I'm going to do for chopping block. But anyway, and for those of you who don't know what chopping block is, stay tuned. You'll like it. It's something completely different. Anyway, going back to the preview of the game, Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace are doing all right, you know. Their form has picked right up. They're now 12th. They beat Burnley last week, and that was a good win. Burnley are no chumps. And they beat Burnley. They just got their shit clicking. And fair play to Hodgson. Listen, I'll hold my hands up to people like Hodgson and Moyes. When they both went to Crystal Palace and West Ham, respectively, I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, what are these clubs doing? But fair play. He's got these teams playing, particularly Hodgson. Palace look like a more formidable unit now. And fair play to Hodgson for that. Hell, they held fucking Man City 0-0 on New Year's Eve. So, fair play to him for that. To me, their threat is Zaha. I know Sacco occasionally chips in a goal. Benteke, if he feels like playing this week, may chip in and make life a bit difficult. But their main threat is that winger, Zaha. To me, I still wouldn't have him at Arsenal. I know people think I'm crazy when I say that. I still wouldn't. Having said all that, he's a great player for Crystal Palace. And he's a player who I think will cause problems. So for that reason, this is going to be the team that I play against Crystal Palace. In goal, to me, I drop Petr Cech. I do. I drop him. Fuck him. I drop Petr Cech. Ospina goes in goal for me. My three centre-backs are going to be Callum Chambers, because I don't think the motherfucker should have been took off in the first place. Mustafi, please just perform better than you did last week. And it's going to have to be Rob Holding. He's not been in great run of form, but I assume Monreal's still injured. I assume Costa Boss, apparently, is still injured. So therefore, these are my three centre-backs. If obviously Cos or Monreal is available, then play one of those two. Left wing back, Kolasinac, I don't want to hear no shit. Kolasinac plays that game, left wing back. Right wing back, to be fair, going forward, but Hector was not bad against Bournemouth. It was tracking back he wasn't so good at. So I'll put Hector right wing back. In the middle, who do I put? So for me, my two would be Jack Wilshere. To me, give him the damn armband. For me, he's captain, by the way. Next to him is Ainsley Maitland-Niles, because I want to try these two in the middle. Fuck it. So that would be my two. As my number two number 10s, Mesut Ozil steps into the fray. I'm hoping he'll be fit. He should be. He tends to do all right against Palace. So why play him in this game? Next to him, I play Aaron Ramsey. So I play him in that number 10 role. And I think you can sometimes interchange that between him and Wilshere. Normally, I like Wilshere a little bit further forward. So it depends what's working on what isn't. If Mesut plays, to me, it's sensible to just play a little runner off him. And I think Ramsey will be able to fight that. Plus, he tends to link very well with the main man up top, and that's Lacazette. To me, I think that team is good enough to beat Palace. That team is a team that should beat Palace well. And I'm going to go with 2-0. I'm crazy. I know, I'm going for a clean sheet here, but I think we'll win 2-0. You guys let me know what you think down below. Would you change that team? What do you think of that team? Tell me what changes you'd make and why. Leave that in the comments below. Also, if you're listening to me for the first time, do me a favour. People's elbow the shit out of that like button for me. Absolutely drop kick the shit out of that like button for me. I appreciate it every time you guys do that. I genuinely do. Like, it's just some spiel from me. And also, if you're listening to me for the first time, hit that subscribe button. You know how many people keep telling me, "Oh, Chig, you never told me you're doing a show. You never did this. You never did that. What's your link?" The best way of doing that and keeping up is by hitting that subscribe button and then hitting that notification bell. Then you won't have to ever miss it. Sometimes when I do impromptu reviews and things like that, it tends to be last minute. It depends who's available. Depends on a lot of factors. I'm not 100% sure, for example, if I'm going to do a show on Saturday. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm not 100% sure. Guess you'll find out. And the other way of keeping up with that also is by following me on Twitter. The link should be in the description below. All right, people. I'm out of here. Take care.